Hi, welcome to my advice vlog about being polyamorous with a family. So I am in a committed triad. I'm a female. I'm choosing to remain anonymous because I am involved in a custody battle at the moment. And until that resolves, I'd much rather just keep my face and my voice masked. But don't let that put you off. I think I have a lot of good advice to give and share. And that's what this series, including this video, is aiming to do. Uh, my family is made up of my husband, who I've been with for 2 decades, and my partner, who I've been with for 5 years. My partner has two children, and I consider them my stepchildren. And we also consider ourselves in that category of being sexual minorities. So all the things that go along with being a sexual minority, all the prejudice, all the issues that you face, we have to face. So if you know anybody who's gay, or bisexual, lesbian, it's very similar. Some of the issues, and one of the big issues we face is whether or not to tell other people about our lifestyle and our choices as far as setting ourselves up as a family and being committed. Um, so it's a struggle. I think anybody who's a sexual minority understands that that decision is just agonizing. And so I'm going to, I guess, give out some advice, some tips, and it's going to be from my perspective, which I understand is not what what will necessarily work for everybody, but hopefully you'll be able to glean some good gems out of this. So what are the benefits of coming out? What are the benefits of revealing who you are, telling people about your lifestyle? So for one thing, you don't have to go around lying to people. You can be your authentic self, as I've heard it called. And that's huge. Having to start keeping track of who you've told what to can be exhausting. In our case, this is where it's pretty specific to us. We wrangled a little bit with coming out to my partner's ex-wife, but at the end of the day, it wasn't much of a decision for him. When you have children with somebody else, it's pretty important to be as honest as you can for that whole co-parenting relationship to be effective. So he wanted to make sure that he was being upfront with his ex-wife so that she understood who the kids were going to be around, what their situation was going to be in the years that followed. And it was kind of a blessing and a curse, I'll say. I mean, I had moments where I wished we hadn't have told my partner's ex-wife, but it actually turns out that the longer the person is aware, the ex-wife in this case is aware of your living situation, of your alternative lifestyle arrangement, when you finally do end up getting into a custody battle or a modification, as is our case, the longer that person is aware of it, the less legal legs she has to stand on to fight you in court. So our situation is probably not going to be everybody else's, but our my partner's ex-wife knew about our situation for many, many years. And when we finally did get in a legal entanglement with her, it was very difficult for her to be able to claim she felt like her children were being damaged by our relationship setup. So it actually helped us coming out to the ex-wife early on. I could see where that would not help someone, especially if you tell somebody and they immediately take you to court. But that's I'm putting that in the pro column for us because it was actually a pro for us to tell the ex-wife, let her sit on that information for many, many years, and then when we finally ended up in a custody battle, we're going to fare a little bit better because we told her so long ago. Uh, the level of I don't know what you call this. I call it psychological freedom, but the level of having to mentally occupy your thoughts with keeping this big secret is it's takes a lot of energy. It's exhausting, and it just gives you so much more psychological freedom to just be who you truly are. When you go around, you don't have to sit there and remember to call your partner your roommate, or you can talk freely and openly about some of the things that bother you. When you keep a secret, when you can't tell a close friend and you need someone to talk to, it's difficult. You just get a lot more support when you're able to just freely and openly discuss your life with your friend. And I find that that's true. I mean, I find I'm having uh, a bit of uh, desire to just gravitate towards those friends that know who I am versus the ones we've chosen to keep our life secret from. So, that psychological freedom to live openly. That's another huge benefit. Uh, this is a biggie, I think. If you go around and you're lying to everybody, and I'm not trying to judge you if you choose to keep it a secret. Being a sexual minority is fraught with danger, and it's fraught with all sorts of pitfalls that affect job and family and everything. But it, you want to teach your kids your values. And there's a little bit of hypocrisy when you're telling your children, hey, go to school, be who you are, be proud of who you are, and then you yourself are just struggling with trying to tell even the most basic person in your life about who you are. So I put that in the pro column. You're not being hypocritical as you go through life and you're trying to teach your kids values. So if you've ever wondered, hey, is this person somebody who would like me if they really knew this thing about me? You don't have to wonder. Once you've told them and they're still around, if they stick around, you know that there's someone that accepts you for who you are. I mean, there's plenty of people out there who want the gay friend or want the whatever, the colorful, interesting friend in their life. It's some sort of badge of honor. But, for the most part, it's nice to have that sense of certainty that the people that know who you are still around you because you've been truthful and honest with them. And I think that's definitely a pro for coming out. So these two kind of go hand in hand, building community and helping the greater poly cause. So when you do find yourself in a position that you're living your true self, being who you are, telling people who you are, um, you start to have people gravitate towards you that are interested in your lifestyle because maybe they themselves wanted to do something like that or are about to do something like that. And you start to make more friends. You can talk about some of the issues as a community that you face. So it does help build community when you're out. When you tell others that you're in a relationship with two men and that it's been like this for years and it's very stable and you own a home together and you own cars together and you own property together and you're in each other's wills and I think that you normalize the the polyamory family to the mainstream. I think people think it's this weird aberration because most of us are in the closet. And I think that the more people come out of the closet and don't do it in a way that has their tail between their legs, like they're ashamed in some way, that they are living who they are and they're not afraid to talk about who they are and they're not afraid to field questions and they don't project who they are onto others. I really do think that that helps the greater cause. And we've got some battles ahead. I mean, just being in a legal case, which I am going to talk about in other videos at great length, so be on the lookout for those. But just being in a legal case, we are starting out we're starting out behind the curve. We're starting out in last place already. We have a huge battle to overcome because not only do we have to prove the neglect and other issues that are in our case, but we have to defend against something that I don't think we should have to defend against. We have to go around explaining to people that no, we are not engaging in orgies. No, we don't let our children sit around playing with sex toys. No, we don't have sex in front of our kids. Um, no, we're not damaging our children. These are things that people who are just in a marital situation with just the husband and wife, they don't have to go around explaining to a guardian ad litem that they don't have sex in front of their children on the living room floor for them to see every Saturday night. Why should we have to explain that? I mean, it's just ridiculous. But we do. And I think the more out we are, the more it gets into the mainstream, the more it gets into television and books and YouTube and blogs and Reddit and all those great places. Um, I think the more it's going to help the greater cause. And you're not going to have people asking asinine, crazy, silly questions like, "Oh, do you have orgies in front of your children?" So, that's basically in a nutshell all the benefits I could come up with why coming out is good. Thanks for listening, and please be sure to check out part 2 on the series of coming out and leave comments. Thank you.